All right, 17 minutes before the top of the hour. Fox News confirming CIA Director William Burns secretly met with the leader of the Taliban in Kabul on Monday as evacuation efforts intensify under a quick approaching deadline that Joe Biden put on himself and the Taliban want him to hold to it. Our next guest, we have just lost for a second. Okay, we got him now. Our next guest is a former CIA officer and says the U.S. has now been reduced to begging extremists to do us a favor. Bryan Dean Wright is back. Bryan, can you hear me?
I sure can. Good morning.
Sadly, I got the news that I reported was 100% accurate. The CIA director threw a Hail Mary, your words, to meet with a guy that the CIA arrested 11 years ago, this Barador, who's now a high-ranking official with this new Afghan government. What does it mean for the rank and file like you?
It's dispiriting. Look, I'm talking to folks who are both in the building and recently have left, and everybody is absolutely outraged at what has happened. Pretty universal belief that we should have gotten out. The question is how, of course, and I think lots of smart people are saying that over and over and over again. But for people who signed up to serve their nation, they're now looking at their commander-in-chief as a national disgrace, as a national nightmare. I mean, we went to Afghanistan, as the CIA director did just days ago, and we begged the people who we've been bombing for 20 years, religious extremists, hey, can you just do us a quick favor? We had nothing to offer them. I mean, what, military equipment? Or were we going to give them some planes and some helicopters? Well, we already left that behind, didn't we? Money? It's not going to be money either. China's going to take care of that, don't you worry. They'll be mining the hills of Afghanistan soon. So we really didn't have much of anything other than what we've heard from the Biden administration, which is this constant plea to the Taliban. Don't you want to be part of the Western world and embrace modernity and your international reputation? I mean, come on, these are people who throw, gay folks off of buildings and kill women for nothing, right? This is not a group of people who are interested in the West. I mean, their whole ideology is based on destroying the West. So I'm not sure what the CIA director thought he was going to get out of this, but he got nothing.
Bryan, it's been revealed that there were multiple CIA bases. And over the weekend, a lot of CIA were abandoned. Over the weekend, the White House was not responsive. It seems that they might have solved that problem, thankfully. But can you tell me in layman's terms what we lost in terms of intelligence capabilities and how the over-the-horizon option is not an option in the hills of Afghanistan?
It's been incredibly degraded, and I think that that's the constant thing I'm hearing from folks who I have worked with who are saying, look, by the way that we pulled out, how quickly it happened. There have been some very public reports now, this starting back in July. The opportunity to set up those continuing operations was profoundly degraded. So now you have a group of religious extremists running a country once again who are going to be open and amenable to attacks on Western interest directly in the United States, throughout Europe. We now have a country that we can no longer get the pulse on what's happening. So we now face a more dangerous world than ever, certainly since the end of the Vietnam War.
You guys could call in your own drone strikes. So you had your own intelligence apparatus can actually execute missions. And you don't publicize it, you don't put out press releases, but that's what you were doing. You were killing terrorists, not trying to spread democracy. That's what people don't fully understand that we lost, but you do. And to have William Burns meet with the former prisoner is humiliating. But so is so much of this operation. Bryan Dean Wright, thanks so much.